Allison for Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, and today, as part of our equipment series, we're gonna do puppy equipment. Well, you know, because obviously I have puppies. So yeah, look out for in the following months for a few segments that are focusing primarily on puppy equipment. We are going to give you all the ins and outs of what you might need before you have a litter, when your litter's first born, and probably up to about 8 weeks of having a litter. Just different things that you may or may not have thought of, and the things that are going to make your puppies flourish and your life just a little bit easier when you have the adorable little gremlins around. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started on our puppy series, I just wanted to mention a few things. First of all, I'm not a veterinarian, right? And I don't play one on the internet. I am not trying to give you medical advice, veterinarian advice, anything like that. What I am here doing is I am giving you things that have worked for me in the past, things that I have found useful that are maybe you haven't heard of before, maybe you have, but just giving you different ideas. Maybe it's 2 o'clock in the morning where you are and you're Googling what to do with, you know, my sick puppy, or is my puppy warm enough, or how do I swaddle it so that I can get an accurate weight on it. That is what we are here for, right? We are here to give you a smattering. This by no means is an exhaustive list or an exhaustive example of any of these stages, but we want to give people that are reputable breeders a place to start, a place to look for, a place to find resources. If you want to have more detailed information, we would love for you to have that too. And we have a full, very detailed course with weights, diagrams, measurements, videos, written synopsis that you can purchase on Leading Edge Dog Show Academy that goes into everything we talk about in our YouTube series in much, much more detail. We are here to help you, to help puppies, to help the reputable breeder out there, and we just want to provide you with some information and maybe a little bit of comfort until things are going absolutely right, or until you are ready to whelp your first litter, or maybe whelp your 100th litter. So I just wanted to give you that little disclaimer before we hop to it. Today in our puppy series, we are going to talk about what do you need for that newborn stage. So if you are looking for what you need prior to whelping that litter of puppies, you can check out our YouTube video that we have on that. But if you're looking for newborn puppies, what you need, you know, kind of from the time they're born for that first week, here we go. So obviously, you know, you're still gonna need a few towels around. Puppies can still be like a little bit messy. They're in their whelping box. They have their pig rail. That room is nice and warm. And they have a heat lamp, some kind of heat lamp. Some people like a heating pad underneath the puppies. Whatever it is, whatever works for you, some kind of heat source to keep those puppies really, really warm. I like the room to also be warm as well. And I like to have my puppies identified with collars. We went over this in the previous video, and I am weighing my puppies on a scale. Typically for most breeds that goes by grams. I'm weighing them once a day at the same time each day, unless I have a puppy that maybe isn't thriving. Then I'm gonna maybe weigh it twice a day. I might weigh it before and after that they nurse to see if they are getting all the nutrients they need. So what else do you need? Well, I like to have some fenugreek around. This is really helpful for moms to help bring their milk in. So if you're a little bit worried about their milk, you have a bitch that had a C-section, maybe this is something you should look into. Of course, I'm not a veterinarian. I don't play one here on YouTube, so consult your veterinarian, but a lot of people really swear by fenugreek. I've had really good success with it. If you have a breed that needs dew claws or tails done, you might have the equipment to do that at home yourself. You might take them to a veterinarian to do that. So you might need some hemostats, you might need some cotton rounds, and some rubbing alcohol to kind of take care of all of that. As well, I like to have some things around in case my puppies aren't thriving, right? So some nursing bottles are always fantastic. So here is an actual puppy bottle. I find that they don't really like the nipples and stuff on this. Like they're kind of hard, like kind of confusing for them. So I like to use like preemie bottles for babies that have a much softer nipple. Sometimes I'm going to maybe put a little hatch in it myself, just so it's a little bit easier for those puppies to nurse. The other thing is now they have these anti-colic bottles. So if you can look up anti-colic bottles, the ones I like are called MAM, M-A-A-M, and they are great because they have this kind of releasing valve at the top, which means your puppies aren't going to get as gassy. And when you're nursing puppies, if you do need to help the mom out and be nursing your puppies, you don't want them to be full of gas. You want them to be full of milk, right? And it's always, you know, something to consider when you are supplementing puppies about how much are you truly supplementing them or are you feeding them. And if you have a bitch that has no milk or, you know, tragically something happened to the bitch, I hope not, and you need to feed your puppies, then obviously they need a different amount of milk. But if you are supplementing your puppies because the bitch has a lot of puppies, you also want to just make sure how much you're feeding them, because you want the puppies to be nursing on the mom as much as possible to help her produce more milk. Now, obviously, if you have a puppy that's not thriving, you need to get in there and help it out. So I like to use goat's milk, but in the first 24 hours, really, really important that you get those puppies to nurse on the mother as much as possible. You want them to get that colostrum that only comes in that first kind of 24-hour period. So it's really, really important that you get them on the mom as much as possible, even if you're helping them out, holding them on there, etc. Then I would supplement with some goat's milk if I had to. My first choice would be some kind of actual puppy milk replacer that has all the nutrients, everything that you need in it. And we have two different kinds here. So this is Puppy Support. Puppy Support has lots of probiotic, lots of the minerals that are going to help your puppy thrive. I would add this to goat's milk, and I would use the Puppy Back, which is actually a meal replacement. This can actually make up the milk. So this is like Espalac for kids, right? So this is like the puppy milk plus the Puppy Support, all of those good probiotics, etc. So think of this as like a meal replacement, and think of this as like a puppy supplement, right? So I prefer to go with this. If you only have one, then you can mix and match and kind of decide what you need to do. As well, if you're ever forced into tube feeding your puppies, or tube feeding works better for your lifestyle, that is absolutely fine. You can refer to our course where we actually show you how to tube feed your puppy. So for that, I like to have some syringes around, and I like to use, like, this is a French 5 catheter. So if you look at it, it's like super soft and bendy, and like this is how it is, like right out of the package, right? It's not like some people I've seen try to tube feed with like those stiff plastic tubes, and I find that just like a lot more difficult on you and on the puppy, right? It's not as comfortable. These are really, really soft, and they just make it a little bit easier. You need a Sharpie because you need to be able to mark how, where you're tube feeding the puppy to with it. So having some of these ready and willing, like in your arsenal, is just like such a great thing, because then if you do have to tube feed, you are all ready to go. So obviously you would also want some extra syringes around, nice and sterile. They last forever, so once you have them, you can just keep them until you have to use them. So when you are with your puppies for that really important, like, newborn part, it is important to have the right things around you. Oftentimes, we're up late, we're up all night, we're up early with our puppies, and we don't always have time to go find the right things. Those are the times the drugstore is always out of it. So pre-ordering the things that you need for your puppies for that first week is really, really imperative. We also like to do some work with our puppies. We like to touch our puppies a lot. So that's something that has changed maybe in the last 15 to 20 years, where people used to just kind of leave the puppies with the mom. And now we're understanding more that it's important for us to be in there, be touching them individually, even if we're just sitting beside the mother in the whelping box and doing that, which is why I like to keep my entire room nice and warm for the puppies and for the mother. Make sure that especially that first week that you're really feeding the mother things that are going to help her have good milk, right? So if your mother doesn't have a lot of milk and you're trying to encourage that milk flow, start giving her things like chicken, like eggs, like whole milk, that things that are really nutritious, so that nutrition can go into the milk, and that is only going to help. One of the things I did notice when I was weighing my puppies is that it can be difficult to weigh them on one of these scales, even if you have like a little bowl or a dish for them. So what I like to do is I like to swaddle my puppies. So I'll like swaddle them, even cover their head, so that when they are in the dish or on the tray to be weighed, that they're not crawling around and you're getting a more accurate reading. So the next time you're ready to have a litter of puppies and you're wondering what everything it is that you need to have for that newborn stage, I hope that this video helped you. If you need some more information about what to have in the next stages, or what you should have prior to breeding your bitch or prior to whelping your litter, you can check out our other great YouTube videos in our equipment series specifically on puppies. I hope that helps. Hey everyone, thanks for watching today's video. Please leave us a comment below, let us know what you thought, and as well, if you have any ideas for future content that you'd like to see, you can put them down there as well. You can head over to leadingedgedogshow.com where you can find our free, premium, and subscription content, and we'd love to have you join us there. As well, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications, that way you never miss another free video tutorial. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.